Hooray!
And we're all here. It's
Hey, we're here. We did it.
been a while,
Yes, for all
especially
three
for
of
you,
us,
John.
yes.
John, you were at a convention, right?
Oh my god, has it been that long?
Think so.
It's been
That
about a
convention was
month.
last month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've missed like 4 shows.
Oh
Well,
shit, it
One
hasn't
of
really
which
been that
we
long.
didn't
well,
do,
John and
but I
I
think
talked
you
about
Well,
the convention because you weren't here, and then you and I did 2 shows together, and we missed last week. So it's been a
Oh, was
month.
there an episode? No, wait, you guys did an episode when I wasn't here? Like when I was in Europe? That's even longer than I'm thinking. I don't know.
It's been a while.
I don't
Yeah.
think I heard about your convention, John, if you wanna tell me about your convention.
it was pretty good. I like I said, I forgot a bunch of it because it was a month ago. Uh, it was MomoCon in Atlanta. We had our live show. We had it was the only panel we had there. I played in a couple tournaments. I won a couple medals. I didn't really buy all that much. I bought like a couple of box SNES games. I bought Kamen Rider Black on Blu-ray. I picked up a couple things for Reese. Yeah,
What
mainly
tournament
just
did you win?
so there's a retro area they have there where they do like a bunch of little tournaments. They did a Donkey Kong Country 1 race. They did a Mario Relay race where you played World 1 of Mario 1, World 2 of Mario 2, World 3 of Mario 3, and then so on. They kept doing that.
Almost like an NES
Uh,
challenge, would you say? Something like that?
but like the turnout
But
was like
just Mario,
I wouldn't. Yeah.
specifically.
Well, because it went to Mario World, you get do to Castle 4 part, and then Yoshi's Island. They just said do World 1 because they didn't want to make the save states for World 5.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, that was one of them. Donkey Kong Country race. There was a Metroidvania race where you had to play Super Metroid up to Kraid, and Castlevania 4 up to the end of World 3 or 4. I forget which. I think it was the end of World 4.
Okay, sure.
Did you win all of these that you're talking about?
Yes.
So how many medals did you come away with?
4?
Wow, good for
Yeah,
you.
because there was 2 for the Super Metroid one. One was win. The other was get the quick kill on Kraid,
Hmm.
which is where he doesn't get to break the ceiling and open up the whole room. I did a tutorial video on that, so I remembered how to do it.
Nice.
Um, and yeah, the other 3 I won. The Donkey Kong Country race, I won the initial goal, but I didn't win the overall race. So my opponent, which was Tim, got the other medal.
Okay.
Cool.
Did you pick up any cool merch or games or whatever?
Uh, like I said, I didn't pick up much in the way of games. I picked up 3 box SNES games, which I still haven't cataloged yet. And they're all right here because I haven't cataloged them yet.
Yeah.
I got Brutal Paws of Fury, which is the furry fighting game for the
Nice.
SNES.
Yep.
I got Pinocchio for the SNES.
Okay.
Okay.
And the most important one, Beethoven, the Ultimate Canine Caper,
Oh, hell yeah.
based off
Oh my
of the
gosh.
Beethoven series of movies.
Man.
Is that off like a specific one of them or just like the franchise in general?
I think it's supposed to be based off of the second one because the second one is when they had puppies.
Okay.
Right.
Uh,
Wild. Okay.
yeah, I didn't pick up all that much there, honestly. Like the merch haul was pretty good, but yeah, I was mainly just
Well, at
looking for
some
some
point
games.
you would be running out of of to pick up as you
That's
are
kind
nearing.
of
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
which is kind of a saving grace because I'm just like I'm running out of room here. I gotta do something.
But now the
Gotta
problem
find
is the
less things to
things
want.
that you need to pick up are very expensive or hard to find.
Also, that I am like I wish I picked up some of these things sooner.
Yeah.
What happens when you complete the collection?
I don't have to do anything ever again with them
He turns
unless
into
something
dust
breaks,
and
then I gotta
blows
replace it.
away in the wind.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That's what happens to me actually.
Yeah,
It's like I go
exactly.
I'm free and then just evaporate.
Evaporate. No one ever hears from him again.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's like Klaus, where it's like once a year on E3 day, I
Oh
get
my
to see my
god.
friend again. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
He comes back down to earth, watch some game trailers. Oh, very cool. What have you been up to, Paul?
Oh, this and that, just surviving. Surviving.
Sure.
Just vibing.
Yep.
All right, well, we got a lot to talk about today. Let's get
We
into
do.
it. Top-down perspective, June 20th. I'm Sean Booker.
Paul Fleck.
John Wheeler.
We're going to start off with news this week. Obviously, we had to skip last week, which would have been the big post-Summer Game Fest one. So now we're going to go through it.
Yeah.
And as we go through the live streams and things that were announced, I'll also talk about my time there and if I like played these games or if I have any like fun context around any of these games. But yeah, so I did go to Summer Game Fest. I had an awesome time. As usual,
Nice.
there was free ice cream.
Nice.
I got
Sure.
my yearly Summer Game Fest branded ankle socks, and as a millennial, I only wear ankle socks, so I'm always happy to get those.
Is that a millennial
But
thing?
yeah, Gen Z, they wear like long socks. That is
I'm wearing
absolutely
long
a thing.
socks right now, so I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm
I mean, I'm
definitely
not saying
millennial.
it's like it's 100% of the time. I'm just saying the general trend.
Okay,
Millennials usually are ankle socks. Gen Z,
that
they
is
don't
news
like
to
ankle
me.
socks.
Huh. Weird. Okay.
But let's start off with so we had the Summer Game Fest stream. This was Thursday or Friday before the actual like Play Days show. I can't remember exactly what day it was.
Yeah.
Um, so I've just got like the list here for us. We should just call out some things that have interested us or that were big. I'll start off Lego Horizons Adventures. That was rumored like a
That
couple
was a
days before that.
big surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a Lego game. It's not made by Traveler's Tales, which I thought was illegal.
Oh, I didn't even realize
I
that
don't
part.
know.
I
Who's
forgot it
it
was
made
actually
by?
Gorilla.
I didn't
It's
pay attention.
Gorilla.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
Gorilla. They're just, and then I guess Lego is giving them here's the assets to all the bricks.
Weird. Okay.
So this is Horizon. It is as a Lego game. I played this game at Summer Game Fest, so I can talk about it. This was obviously at the PlayStation basement, I guess. It plays. It is a Lego game, absolutely. So if you're hoping it's going to be more Horizon than Lego, no, it is a Lego game that looks like Horizon. I think it looks really nice visually. It's really cool seeing all the different creatures and stuff made from Lego. But they even do some of the Horizon stuff where you can scan, like when you're doing like a boss fight, you can kind of scan the area and it'll highlight weak points on the boss, which is where you should be targeting your like bow and arrow to break that stuff off, which will like negate some of the attacks it can do. But you're not making traps, you're not overriding enemies to like ride them and stuff like that. You are just kind of running around piecing things together, breaking trees, and they turn into Lego blocks.
So it's still
But
very
one of the
much a
big
Traveler's Tale style Lego game.
Yeah, like it's weird that it's not Traveler's Tales making this because it is what you'd expect from a Lego game. Um, Coming to Switch, which
That was the
a
big
play
surprise.
I was pretty. I can't think of another PlayStation like first party studio game on the Switch.
I don't think there is.
Yeah, because like a couple years back we had the baseball game that showed up on Xbox.
I mean,
Um,
isn't the the show might be on Switch? Is it?
I don't know if there's a Switch version. But
Yeah,
anyway,
MLB The
okay.
Show 24 is on
Well,
Switch.
okay, well there we go. So
Like, I
there's
guess
another one.
that's the answer then. It's MLB The Show.
Yep. Okay, what about you, Paul? What call out a game that is interest to you?
I'll call it the only thing that neither of you will call out that I was interested in. The fact that Blumhouse is making horror games seems like a great fit. That's
That
perfect.
was
Okay.
actually what I was going to say. I was going to say
Wow.
Blumhouse Games and Slitterhead.
Okay.
Um,
Sure. Blumhouse
The
games
one I'll
look
mention
great.
from here. The one I'll mention from here is Project C from Half Mermaid, which is the studio behind Telling Lies, Her Story, and what was the best one that was most recent?
I can't.
Immortality.
Immortality, yeah. With Barlow and the young Cronenberg. So
Oh yeah, and they're also partnered with a Cronenberg. Like
it's
that's
yeah.
the one I'm most interested in. But anyway, Paul, why do you call out Blumhouse?
Because Blumhouse have a history of putting out just kind of like schlocky, shitty, kind of fun horror movies. So if they do that for
Sure.
video games, that's perfect. Just like a indie AA type publisher for that sort of thing. Because the best thing that horror can do is be weird and different. And I think a lot of big publishers don't latch onto horror because sometimes they go places that maybe feel unsafe or are too different. It makes sense that there should be somebody out there that's willing to take the risk that like this game does something kind of interesting or kind of fucked up or whatever. It's just a good fit, honestly. There's not too many good horror publishers out there.
Yeah. And John, you said you wanted to call this one out. What had jumped out at you about it?
Well, I think it was Grave Seasons, the one that basically was like a gardening game, but secretly there's like a murderer running around.
That
You have
was
to figure
cool.
out who's killing everyone. That looked neat.
It
Okay.
did. Yeah, that's true. That
Sure.
looked cool.
Yep.
And whichever one was,
They
the simulation. Simulation also looked really cool.
Yeah, the
they
weird
did
like
have a
game
booth
dev
at
one.
Playdays. They didn't have most of the games. I know Fear the Spotlight was there. It might
Sure.
have been the only one that was actually like playable on the show floor. I didn't end up playing it, so I didn't. It was in kind of a weird section of the Playdays show floor. And for those who don't know, Playdays is like the in-person event that is under kind of Keeley's banner. It was in kind of a weird section that I didn't really spend much time in. So,
Sure.
um, okay, just kind of going down this list. It's right underneath this. I'm gonna call out Alan Wake 2 Night Springs.
That was a good like you can play it right now sort of thing, or later that night.
Yeah, I think he actually said tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
But
yeah.
yeah, Sam
Yeah.
Lake came out. He started doing the dance, and he's like, "Nah."
Yeah.
Which I'm always happy to be reminded about that dance and that song. It's so good. But yeah, the DLC, it's already out. I really want to get to it.
You should.
I've been
It's
very
good.
busy.
It's very short.
Well, we'll talk about why I've been very busy a little later when we get into what we're playing. But yes, I do want to play this. It's the first of part of their like expansion pass. It's like 3 chapters. So you did play it, Paul? Do you want to
I
talk
did.
about it?
The thing to talk about is what they do with the story, and it would be a shame to ruin any of that. So no, I don't really want to talk about it. If you have any care about Alan Wake, you should probably pick it up. It does some really crazy exposition connecting to the Remedyverse in some ways I wasn't expecting. It's very cool.
I did see in the trailer Jesse from Control is a playable character in this.
For one of them, sure. I'm talking about
Yeah,
they
there's
do
3.
some yeah, they do some weird shit. They make some connections
That's
that you're
great.
just like, what the fuck? Okay.
That's very exciting for me. So yes,
Yeah.
no, I'm hoping to get to that this weekend, but we'll see. We'll see. Who's next? Oh, John, you didn't even really call one out because Paul took one for you. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
mean, yeah. So I said the Blumhouse game stuff, and then I guess both Slitterhead and the Power Rangers beat 'em up.
Yeah, the Power Rangers beat 'em up is huge.
Yo, that Power Rangers beat 'em up looks so good, and it's not just a beat 'em up. They look like they had some other kind of like.
They had like some Space Harrier style
Yep.
stages where you were just like dodging around on a motorcycle, like or a Zord shooting like targets. So it looked fun.
It looks great.
Rita's Rewind is the subtitle. Yeah, it looked so good, and yo, when like the music kicked in, like it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I think Cosmic Gem was who they said was doing the music. They've done a bunch of stuff I've liked in the past. So if Sean is talking, I can't hear any word he just said.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything either. Actually, weird. Okay.
That's odd. I'm not muted. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Now
No,
you're fine.
you did a whole sentence and we never heard a word of it.
That's okay. What I did say, the audio people will have heard it because it's in my waveform. I was saying, Digital Clips is developing it, so
Yeah.
it'll be in good hands.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should talk about Slitterhead too because you brought it up because I wasn't sure what to expect from the Silent Hill dude putting out in another game, and I will say I was not expecting that from the trailer. That gameplay looks weird as hell.
It looks weird, and that's why I'm excited about it. I want some weird shit.
Yeah.
Like you're just like like people are mutating around you, and it looks like you're mutating as well. You can transport between different people, or at least one of them can. And
it looks like you're you're the entity or whatever, like a ghost or demon or something taking over people and like using them as weapons essentially.
yeah, but it looks like you're fighting something. You're fighting like other monsters that are like mutating in different ways. So
it's very
and all
cool.
look like blood transformation, like their hands split open, turn into claws and stuff like that.
It made me want Prototype again. I love Prototype.
You know what? Yeah, it kind of had Prototype vibes.
It does. Yeah.
It's definitely more character actiony than I would have expected from the Silent Hill guy.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's coming out like semi soon in November, which is awesome.
November 8th.
Yeah.
Hey, my birthday.
Honestly,
Yeah,
that's a happy birthday. That is that's not as early as I would expect because there's a lot coming out between now and November 8th that are
sure.
like
Yeah.
There is a
really
lot.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like August and September specifically are like packed.
yeah.
Okay, what else we got here?
Why don't you do one, Sean?
I think Cairn looks good.
Oh, I wasn't into that one at all, but I mean,
That's the like climbing
climbing.
kind of
Yeah,
survival-ish game. I think that looks cool. And earlier this year played Jusant,
it
which
looks
was another
similar.
climbing game.
Like maybe
Oh,
a little
this
more
is the
hardcore.
Fury devs. Oh, that explains a lot. Okay.
Yeah,
It is yeah. So the art style is like really nice. This looks less neon-y than their other two games, but I liked both Fury and Haven. So this
sure,
seems pretty interesting.
sure. Uh, I wanted to quickly just call out that like I was really confused when they did the trailer for the year 2 characters for Street Fighter 6 because I was like, wait, Street Fighter? No, wait, that's Terry. No, wait, what's going on? This is just like a roller coaster of emotions. But I thought that their character lineup coming up is very, very cool. Bison, Terry, Elena, and Mai, very good.
I just remembered another live stream that we do have to talk about because
Okay.
Devolver also did one, and that's like the
Oh,
best one.
yeah. No, you're right. We do have to talk about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
John, you have a game you want to call out?
Wanderstop kind of looked neat. This is the one from Annapurna and Ivy Road that looks like it was just going to be kind of a I'm a retired warrior and I'm like running a tea shop and then like it starts like they start dealing with PTSD and stuff like that. So that one seems like it might be an interesting
It
one
looks
to
like
dig
it has
into.
some dark undertone to it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm gonna call out Neva, the new game by
Yeah.
the Grease developers,
Oh yeah.
and just like Grease, it looks absolutely gorgeous. So I'm gonna look at that game more. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that like was a surprise to me. I was happy to see a little more Monster Hunter Wilds, but I need to see more still than they showed there.
What about anything else from you, John?
No, I think that pretty much hit most of my notes. And anything I would have said, you guys already beat me to.
Sure. Oh, Phantom Blade
Two more
Zero
I'll just
looks
call out.
great, actually.
Phantom Blade Zero looks very cool. That
Yeah.
was one I hadn't really seen much of, and then I saw that trailer,
Yeah.
and a coworker of mine who was also there, he had some more time in his schedule, so he was able to slide in and get a booking for that one.
Nice.
So I was a little jealous of that. The one I was going to call out though is Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess because I played it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Um,
I've seen gameplay of
down
this,
there.
so I know what this is a little more now.
Yeah, I was so curious what this game is.
Yeah.
It is a character action game mixed with a tower defense.
And like an escort, right? Like you're escorting a princess from one place to
Well,
another.
that's kind of the tower defense. So
Yeah.
it'll put you in these like kind of like open little areas, and there's no time or anything. You just kind of have to go around and find all the people that are like trapped. And you basically just kind of hold down like B or whatever to like spin your character around, and then you like save them. You get some coins, you get some kind of currency, and then you can spend that currency to turn those villagers into like an axe cutter or an archer or
Yeah.
a mage, and then you get to just kind of place them where you want them to. So the first, it's like so it's pretty like low key, like I almost don't want to call it like a puzzle game because it's kind of just like explore the area and press B on the people that look like they're trapped.
Yeah.
Congrats, you've won. But then what you need to do is once you're like set, or there's a small like day night cycle going, but you can speed it up if you want. Every time at night, the gate, which is at like the back end of this area, will start just like spawning like demons or whatever, and then you can just fight them character action style. But yes, there is a maiden that's at the like the beginning of that area, and she has a certain amount of health so you want to protect. And if you go near her during like the day, so not the fighting time, you kind of make a path, and it's all kind of automated. You're just kind of holding down B again, and then your character just kind of walks forward. Um, Again, spending currency to make this path. So you have to do some of those nighttime fights to get more currency to like have enough to make the path all the way go to the end. So in like the couple first stages I did, it was we had to do like two nighttime battles before we could get all the way to the end there. And then you need to basically just like protect her and like set up your people to kind of bottle the different bottlenecks so that she doesn't get hurt too much. And then there are also like boss fights as well that are more just kind of character actiony, but you have a posse and you can kind of tell them like, "Yo, everyone should back off right now because he's about to do like a big slam," or "Hey, I just stunned him. Let's all get in there." Um, it's a weird mashup. Like I kind of liked what I was
That's
seeing.
hearing you explain it is confusing in a way. It sounds like it
Yeah,
almost kind of has an identity crisis of sorts.
that's exciting to
I
me.
don't know if it has that's where I would lean. I wouldn't say identity crisis. It is unique, and that was exciting to me as well. This comes out July 19th, so that's less than a month. And I believe it's not. I think it's only $50, so it's not a full price title, which
Mm,
is kind of nice to hear.
yeah, sure.
Um, and again, the visuals just look awesome. Like I just kind of love the presentation in this thing. It's so colorful. Yeah, so that was Summer Game Fest, the live stream. Immediately after that, I because I was watching this in my hotel room down in LA, and then I had like 30 minutes before Devolver started, so I went to my hotel's rooftop pool for a quick swim. That was
Sure.
delightful.
Wow.
Um, and then I came back down for the Devolver stream,
Yeah.
which this is always the best stream every year. Paul, I know you watched it. Do you want to describe kind of they kind of have like a framework for their streams of what's
Okay.
happening in between the
The thing that's
games?
happening, sure.
Yeah.
It is Volvy's birthday, and
Yep.
the birthday might
For
be
those who don't know, Volvi is the Devolver mascot who has
right,
one big hand and one normal hand.
but we get the impression that the birthday might be in this crazy dude's mind the whole time, because it kind of follows this dude home, and he's just trudging around his house, and then it gets like kind of weirdly dark, and then all of a sudden there's a birthday
He,
party.
he definitely seems like there's a dark secret to this man. He is a serial killer, or like this man is not to be trusted. There is something wrong with this guy.
Like
But he loves Volvi.
there's like an inner monologue for like the first like little bit of it, and then it starts getting weird when the cops come and knock on his door because a neighbor is like complaining about the noise, and he's like, no, it's just my TV, which is playing this like old 80s Volvi cartoon or something.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
right.
devolves into this weird, like, Volvi might be trapped in the attic and there might be some weird shit going on. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
And also, we just normal stuff for video game trailers.
Yes, in between.
Um, okay, the big one, I think was at the end. This one's not in order. I guess this is in order of like excitement or whatever. Possessors,
Of course,
the
yeah. This was huge.
Heart Machine, the developers of Hyperlight Breaker are actually now a 2-game studio. They have another game coming. That was a huge shock to me.
That was a huge shock because we haven't heard about this at all. And I kind
Yep.
of don't like the look of Hyperlight Breaker at all. So
Oh, okay.
I'm not too into that. And then seeing this is exactly what I want. This looks like the perfect game for me. So I'm very excited.
Okay. Okay. They showed Angerfoot again. I've seen Angerfoot so many times.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
want to play
I
that
mean,
game.
that's soon out. Really, that's like really soon to be out.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah,
July
they already
11th.
have a code for it.
Yeah, it's very
Oh,
soon.
wow. Lucky you. Angerfoot's cool. I played it at a PAX a year or two ago, but Tenjutsu looks
That's the
awesome.
one I'm waiting for, baby. That is the Dead Cells and what's the game they did? The firefighting one. Ah, shoot, I don't remember. But
Firefighting.
it's it's Nuclear Blaze. There we go.
Mm. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So this is a martial arts like top-down grid-based grid-based esque game where like you just are basically Neo and you just kind of just kick the shit out of people, but you can like throw weapons around and dodge bullets and stuff like that. Like it looks like a really fun martial arts mashup. I've been
Looks
watching
very
they've
Hotline
been posting.
Miami.
Yeah, they've been posting like progression videos on their Twitter because they actually originally did it for a game jam. And
Okay.
I hadn't seen it in a while, so seeing it there, I was like, "Oh, this looks so good! I'm so excited to play this."
Yeah, and it's not the studio behind Dead Cells or the two behind Dead Cells, but it is
No, it's
the
like the
original
pixel artist.
designer of
Yeah.
it. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, so I'm sure there'll be tons of great action and it'll feel good too. But Paul, anything else you wanted to call from it? They only showed like 5 games here.
Yeah, for me, Possessor was the big one. I didn't really care about the others because most of the others are just like I know about Angerfoot. Talos Principle, it's DLC or something, right?
DLC. Yeah, it's DLC for Talos too.
And then an update to Cult of the Lamb. Like, they're all cool, but like the big thing for me was Possessors.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I'll just say they also showed the Crush House because we named every other thing there,
Oh
which
yeah,
looks like a
Rush House
weird.
seemed interesting. Yeah.
that's not
It's
for
like a
me at
dating
all.
sim, but there's also something dark's happening in there too. Um,
Yeah,
so that definitely looked pretty weird. I think they spent more time with the Volvi birthday party
they
than
spent
they
a
did
lot
with
of
the
time
game
with it.
trailers,
Yeah,
which I'm here for. That's great. I love that. So,
yeah,
and then yes, that little weird '80s cartoon. And they showed you the whole thing at the end. That was very enjoyable.
it's very good. Yeah, very good.
Yeah. Um, Volver did have a booth at Playdays. I know they were giving away free churros.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
And they had a
I don't.
bunch of the packaged items from the bumper, the video too. So
Oh,
like
did they? Oh,
Volby
yeah.
branded like not hot cakes or like meat pies and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, they did have the meat pies and stuff. I actually didn't spend much time at the Devolver booth because I think they reached out pretty late, so my schedule was like already pretty full. Um. Okay, but then now it's Sunday. Sunday morning, we're doing the Xbox stream. I just want to say at the top, I thought this stream was fantastic. Like, they showed off some extremely good looking games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for a good deal of them, I would say.
Okay. Well, Paul, why don't you start us off? Call out a game that excites you.
I mean, okay. I was going to say they open with the big one, but they open with Black Ops kind of, and that's not what I meant. What I meant was Doom, the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks
That
so
looks
cool.
so dumb in the best way possible.
He was riding that
The
dragon and spitting down that demon's throat.
He had a mech.
He had a mech.
did have a mech. Yeah.
Yep.
He had a chainsaw shield
Yeah,
that
and
he
he threw
threw
it
like
like
Captain
America.
America. Yep.
His riot gun just like broke up skulls into pieces.
Oh, that was so cool! Just grinding up the skulls and watching him just shoot it. That was
It's
so cool.
fucking fantastic. It's so good looking.
That's video
This
games,
got,
baby. That's video games.
That's video games. Yep.
This was part of the like Xbox Activision file kind of leak stuff, but it was called Doom Year Zero back then.
Sure. Okay.
So we did kind of have a bit of an inkling. Okay, they're doing some kind of prequel, but I don't think we knew how far back it was going to go.
the
Yeah.
Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages. I do like the idea that this guy. I don't know if it's the same. If Doomslayer, if it's the same one, maybe it's a mantle. But just the idea that there's been a Doomslayer for like hundreds of thousands of years or whatever. Um. Yes, that was a very cool way to start it. Because I agree, just skip Call of Duty. Like I don't need to see that.
Oh
This
no,
was a
I'm
great way
really
to open the
excited for
show.
this Call of Duty, the story and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just gonna play the campaign and enjoy it, and then forget about it. I don't care about the other stuff.
I mean, it's probably going to be one of the first Call of Duties I've played through the entirety of the campaign because this will be on Game Pass. So why not?
You could play all of those if you wanted to. They are like 2 hours long. They're
When
pretty
did
short.
Black Ops 5 come out? Because I genuinely don't remember there being a Black Ops 5.
That was
I think
Cold War.
it was called Cold.
That was
Yeah,
cold.
so it didn't
That's
have a
one.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I was like, what the fuck? Where's
Yep.
5?
It's true.
John, do you want to call it another game?
Indiana Jones, baby.
Yeah, of
Excited
course.
for
Okay.
that.
Yep.
I love that movie series, so I'm excited for the
Choo-choo.
game. Oh, that's so dumb. I love it.
They have the
So
vibe
dumb.
so perfect. It's the exact thing you want from that series.
What I saw someone saying that whoever they had for Indiana Jones sounds more like Harrison Ford than Harrison Ford currently does, which I thought was hilarious.
I
think
definitely
it's
said
Troy
that
Baker they
too.
got.
It
I believe
is.
it's Troy Baker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's doing a great job. So I'm excited for that.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that recent Indiana Jones is rough.
Yeah, it is.
And when
It's
they
hard.
de-age him but keep old man Harrison Ford voice there, it's even rougher.
It's hard
Yeah.
to watch when he's young
I
but speaking
I
old.
still enjoyed it. It was an alright movie.
Okay. I'll call it Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I got to see so this game was at Playdays. It was a hands-off demo, so I was like watching an hour-long presentation. So I basically saw the first hour of the game, the prologue. I think this looks really good. It looks pretty fun. This is coming out sometime 2024, so it'll obviously holiday because they don't have a date yet. But Yeah, it's looking a lot more Mass Effect in terms of the combat. Like you hold down like left bumper and it brings up like a ability wheel, and you can even like target people with your companions abilities. So it's very Mass Effect in terms of the combat now. Obviously without the shooting. Well, I guess there's magic and arrows. Um, but I think this game looks pretty good.
Oh, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 might have been like the one that I'm actually most excited to play that I didn't
A
know
lot
was
of people
coming.
seemed excited about that.
It
Yeah.
looks
This
great.
looks so cool.
Yeah.
Narrated by Ben Starr, the main actor from
Oh,
Final
okay.
Fantasy 16, which I really enjoy his voice. Has a really distinct, like gruff voice, so I like that. Yeah, this thing looks cool and just kind of came out of nowhere.
And like an actual turn-based game, like it's kind of weird to see
Turn-based
in
RPG.
2024 being announced. It looks great.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, that
Yep.
isn't a Persona or like an SMT sort of spin-off because those are still
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a
Yeah, there's
turn-based
one in this
RPG that
direct.
isn't.
Yes, exactly.
It looks like a turn-based RPG that isn't like a JRPG.
Yes. It looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Brief pause here. So Xbox. So this was Sunday morning. Saturday evening was the Xbox Mixer, and it was at the Museum of Motion Pictures. Absolutely gorgeous location for the mixer. It was like on this huge balcony. There was a sunset happening right now. Oh, it was awesome. They had free tacos. I ate so many tacos. Um, everyone who came to the mixer, they gave us um, Xbox branded bomber jackets. I have it here. I want to show it off.
Oh, that sounds so
This thing is so
cool.
cool. This is my favorite merch. Sorry, it's all black, so I'm trying to figure out. So it has like Xbox on the front, and then it has patches along the side, and the patches it came with, I don't want to show them yet because it's a surprise. The patches it came with was, it says there was four: Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, Call of Duty, and I don't remember what the fourth one was. But
It's
anyways,
not it's
I
not
was like,
Gears.
oh, well, it's not Gears. And I was like, I can't remember what it was, and I was like, I'm gonna take some of these off. Like, I don't need this Call of Duty patch. When we were left the showcase. So Sunday morning, they gave us more patches, and I was like, "Oh, this is probably for the stuff they announced." So what patches do you think they gave us based on what was
Fable.
announced at the show? That's one guess.
Indiana
John, you have a guess?
Jones.
Okay, so you're both wrong. Um, they gave us Dragon Age, Assassin's Creed, Claire Obscure Expedition 33,
Weird.
Metal
Okay.
Gear.
Okay, sure.
Just like
What?
such a weird list, but yeah. So I put
Yeah.
Metal Gear
That's
because I
so
was thinking like,
weird.
oh, they'll do Fable, they'll do Gears,
Yeah.
Doom, all these things that they own. Nope, here's just some titles. So I put
Weird.
some cool ones on.
Interesting.
But yeah,
Huh.
it's all black. This is such a cool jacket that they just gave us. Love that. So yes, excited for Expedition 33. Where we at? John, you want to call a game out?
Gears of War, E-Day.
Gears.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
the only way they're going to be able to get Marcus back in like fighting form is to do a prequel. So they picked the most prequel they could do.
It was weird seeing Dom again, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're definitely gonna see them like invent the chainsaw gun, right?
I think it already existed.
No,
during
they
E-Day.
they only have the bayonet ones. I've seen people like kind
Oh,
of
the Retro
calling
Lancers.
that out.
Okay.
Yes. So
Interesting.
they
Yeah,
definitely create.
probably.
I think they're probably right. Yeah.
Probably.
But the funny thing is, like, the whole E-Day thing ends with Marcus getting arrested. So I'm curious how this is all gonna play out, or if it's even gonna dip into the actual Gears 1 story.
I bet it ends with him like getting arrested, and you're gonna realize like he was wrongfully imprisoned. Like he probably sacrificed himself, right? Like that
And he
has to
went.
be
It
what's
was
gonna
like he went to
happen.
go check on his dad. He basically abandoned his post. I think is exactly what Gears 1 says.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about that one.
I'm gonna call out Perfect Dark. We haven't
I,
heard anything from this game in so long.
Yeah, it made
This
me
looks awesome.
realize I want
I
another Deus Ex, and this is probably the closest we're gonna get.
this is
ever.
looking pretty Deus Ex. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious about what they're doing because she's working for the enemy team at the start of this because she works for the Carrington Institute in the N64 game.
Right.
And then this one, she's definitely working for Datadyne at the start because she's looking for Carrington.
Right. Yep.
So I'm curious what the hell they're gonna do with the plot of this. But like the weird like lock-on vision she has, or like I guess that they're gonna call it like dark vision or Joe vision or something weird like
It's
that.
kind of the Splinter Cell thing, right? Where he can
Yeah,
like instant kill, kind of. Yeah.
I'm
I thought this
curious
showed
about that.
so good. It kind of no one was going to expect this. And Paul, we're never getting another Deus Ex.
I
Wasn't
know.
I think there
This
was a
is
story like a month or so ago where they've tried and like failed to launch one like twice at
this is
that
the closest
studio.
we're
Like it's
ever
not
gonna
happening.
get ever again.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
I'm saying is that if
I mean,
Elvis the alien isn't in here, I don't give a shit. That's all I have to say.
He's probably not, and if he does, it's a cameo because
That's
like
all I need.
Perfect Dark had a little bit of campiness to it, and this one doesn't look like it has any
It
in it.
it really doesn't look like it has any campiness from what we saw. That's very true.
okay, Paul.
South of Midnight looks really cool to me. I
Yeah, I think this was the first gameplay we've actually seen of it.
I saw some people complaining about the stop motion kind of look, but
The frame rate.
but what I cared about is that the animation, it's very clearly an aesthetic choice because when you saw the gameplay, it was running at least a full 60 from what they showed and it looked fine. So whether or not you like it is like that's fair, but at least it doesn't look like it's impacting the gameplay at all. Thank God. That was kind of the only thing I was wondering. Will it show bad if it's this style? And it looked okay to me. I've seen a lot of complaints about it though.
Okay.
Mecha Break. That
Okay.
looked really cool.
Sure.
I love fast-paced mech games, and that looked like one of those. And this one's going into open beta, I think, in a couple weeks. So
This article says it's coming out August, so it would have to be soon.
yeah, so I'm curious to check that one out.
Sure, makes sense.
Life is Strange Double Exposure.
This was crazy.
Max is back.
Yeah.
So this is not Don't Nod. This is Deck 9 who kind of
Yeah.
took over the Life is Strange title. So I'm curious what they're gonna do with that. She can like go between dimensions.
Yeah.
And I believe some of the developers said like so both of the endings of the first Life is Strange are canon.
Sure. I mean, sure. Like her
Which
power
sure,
isn't
cool.
necessarily new because she kind of did that, but this is very much like she doesn't need a picture catalyst to do it anymore. She can just apparently do it, which is fine.
Well, I mean, she might need some kind of catalyst,
Yeah,
but
she might.
before it was like almost like a rewinding. Now she's like existing in the other world and
She
stuff. I don't
might
know.
even need the
I just
pictures.
like,
She still has the wall with the pictures on it. So,
and like I'm looking at this thumbnail. It is her coming out of pictures,
so
so
yeah,
it could be pictures
it
again.
might still be the same.
It's also called double exposure, which is the photography right there. So,
Sure.
um, I like Life is Strange. That first one I loved, so I'm happy to see this character come back.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what they do with it too. That Vessel of Hatred trailer is insane in the way I want a Diablo thing to be. I loved it so much, and
Oh, the
apparently,
Diablo one? That was gross.
that's a toned down version of it because the one they actually wanted to submit wouldn't make it.
That was so gross. Like you were just watching them like split her bones apart.
Yeah,
Like it was
yeah.
such a gross trailer.
The world of Diablo
Sometimes you
is
just
one
don't
of the
need bones.
worst worlds to live in ever. It's the worst, and I love it.
I'm out. I got all the ones I
You're
wanted.
out. Cool. I played Punk. I did play. I don't know if I can talk about that. I actually don't really know, so I'm not going to say anything.
Okay, I think Avowed looks fun. Look, because we're not
Yeah.
getting an Elder Scrolls for a while still, so that's probably going to
Right.
take that place for a bit. And yeah, that looks fun to me, so I'm excited to see that.
I'll call out the hardware. This is probably the last one for me for the Xbox stream. Um, So we had those leaked images from 2-ish months ago of the diskless Series X. So that's real. It's white here. It's $50 cheaper, same storage. So in my opinion, don't get this one. $50
Yeah,
more, get yourself a hard drive. That just seems to be the way to go. Um,
sure.
they they announced a Series S that has a terabyte. SSD. So this is basically last year they announced a black one with a terabyte. So here's a white version with a terabyte. And then the Galaxy Series X, it's like a speckled looking X with like a green base. This has 2 terabytes. It's $600, which is like $100 more. Which pretty much lines it up that if you bought like a Series X and then one of those expansions, you're going to pay about 600. So it's not like it's a better deal necessarily or a worse deal. But that was the
Breaks about
hardware.
even.
Yeah, exactly. Breaks about even. In my opinion, I've seen like the standard Series X go on sale for like as low as 350 sometimes. I think like refurbished ones on like Amazon were that like this week. I think that's like the play to go with it.
Sure.
Any other games you want to call out, Paul?
I just really want to play State of Decay 3, but they didn't really show
Yeah.
anything about it. I just like State of Decay games, so.
Sure. Yeah. I'm glad it's still alive.
Yep, me too.
Yep. Okay, before we move on to the next live stream, I wanted to talk about some more Playday stuff that I had played because we had touched on PlayStation. When I was there, I also played Astrobot,
Okay, yeah.
All
and
right.
they gave me this thick Astrobot shirt. Look at this,
Okay, that's pretty cool shirt.
and
That's pretty cool.
it's all robots.
Okay.
This was my second favorite bit of merch I got. Um, Yo, Astrobot rocks! Holy smokes, it's exactly what you want. Um, they had 5 stages for us, 2 of which were pretty standard, like exploration stages. They had a boss fight, and then they had 2 challenge stages. These are new, where it's like, oh, here's like the real stuff. Here's the real platforming for like the adult gamers in the room. No more baby shit. Um, and if you found all of the hidden like little astrobots, the ones that are like, this is the Kratos bot, here's the Ratchet bot. If you found all of them in each of the stages, you would get a gold flag on that stage, and then if you beat the boss, if you beat the challenges, you would get a gold flag. And the lady told me on this was the first day of play days, I was the only one who got all 5 gold flags, so I'm clearly a pro gamer.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yep.
Proud of
And
you.
I did mention that in my preview article I wrote. Um, yeah, it's great. My favorite power up that was in this preview was, you've seen it in the trailer, the like dog he had on his back. It's like a jetpack that just rockets you forward. And you can rocket into enemies to do damage to them, or there's obviously platforming challenges. And then the challenge stages were cool. My favorite one was this like time slowing down one where everything in the stage was moving way too fast, and you had to pick up these little canisters and throw them, and then you would get like 5 seconds of everything moving slow, so you could actually jump around enemies, um, jump on the bullets flying by to use them as platforms and stuff like that. So it was great. Um, I cannot wait for this game. Absolutely.
How
Looking forward
much
to it.
does it feel like it has Mario energy to it? Because I mean, like Astrobot, like the one that came with the PS5 itself, is pretty established, is pretty decent. But to me, watching, I was like, this is like a 3D world style. This is definitely like much more Mario blood in this one this time around.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is an absolute Mario like rival at this point. Um, I would said the same thing about the last ones. I think those are like extremely good platformers, both of them, and this is just like a full length one of those. So I can only really talk about those 5 stages because that's all I got to see. But if it's just more of that, like if you like Astro, you're gonna like this product. And I think it's $60. I think it's a full title priced game, not 70, but 60, and that's September. But we talked about that when it was announced. But yes, I got to play that, and I was pretty excited about it. All right, back to the new stuff. We got Ubisoft now. Paul, you prefaced this by saying it was boring.
Yeah, I thought this was really disappointing because I know I'm gonna play Outlaws, and that's basically what this thing was just showcasing a lot of Outlaws.
Let's talk about Outlaws. It's at the top of this article. I think it looks so good.
It looks really good, but the problem is that I don't care because I'm gonna play it. Like, you don't need to show me. I need to see new stuff, and that's where I got disappointed.
Yeah, this comes out August 30th. So like I said, it's August and September are some big months coming up for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Outlaws.
Looks fun.
Anything for you in the Ubisoft showcase, John?
Not really, because like most of it they kind of already announced. Like Prince of Persia: Lost Crown getting story DLC. That's cool.
Yep, that's awesome.
Rogue Prince of Persia is already out,
Yep.
and Sands of Time got a trailer.
That's never coming out. I swear
And
to
a
God.
26 release date?
Yeah,
What is happening to this game?
it's crazy.
Something's up with that game. Just how can you? It's just a remake. How are you making such a hard thing out of this remake?
2026. That's the first time I've heard that year. I didn't even know that year existed.
It's nuts. It's fucking crazy.
Like my my expectations for this are becoming astronomical. Like, is it going to be like a Final Fantasy VII remake? Like, here we go. It's like this is the new shit. Or is it just going to be like a standard remake that they just couldn't figure like what is happening with this game?
To be fair, after how much like Skull and Bones took to come out, I'm not surprised anymore.
That's
Beyond
true, and
Good
that
and
game
Evil
did come
2,
out,
like
and I
there's just
looked
so
at
much
it.
Ubisoft stuff that's just in limbo now.
Speaking of Beyond Good and Evil 2, did you see the stuff for Beyond Good and Evil that was announced today?
No.
I saw it was like the 20th anniversary physical from Limited Run.
Yeah, so
Oh,
the
cool.
20th anniversary one, which had leaked, was officially announced. I think it comes out sometime this summer. I can't remember the release date. But in the 20th anniversary edition, they're adding in a new mission that ties into what's happening in Beyond Good and Evil 2.
The
Sick.
game that we're not even sure is even coming out at this point.
Exactly.
Which is
It's like,
wild.
what are you doing? That game isn't real.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, and then they showed Assassin's Creed Shadows as well, which I'm excited for Assassin's Creed Shadows because I'm that guy.
Yeah, you're the
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed
the
guy.
Assassin's Creed guy.
Yep.
Still haven't played Mirage, but this one, I watched Shogun this year. I
Hmm?
played some Rise of Ronin. Like, it's a hot setting these days.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima's on PC for people. So if you didn't have
That's
a
true.
PlayStation
Yep.
before, you can play that now.
Only you need a PlayStation Network account if you want to play the Legends mode.
That Legends mode is neat. I just never got really
It is, it's
into
cool.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so that was basically Summer Game Fest. I'm trying to think about any other games that I played there that I can talk about, because there's definitely stuff that I cannot. The free ice cream truck was all Sega themed.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they had a shadow milkshake, which was cookies and cream
Okay.
with some red velvet put in there. That sold out on the first day, so I had to wait to day 2 to get one of those.
Wow. Okay.
They had Sonic popsicles with the eyes looking terrible, kind of like a Spider-Man popsicle. They had what's the it's like the astronaut ice cream, Dippin' Dots.
Oh yeah.
Those were like Persona themed.
Okay. Yeah.
What else did I play there? I played Steamworld Heist 2. I don't think I can talk about it. I don't know. It was a cool show. Had a lot of fun. This bomber jacket is so sweet. I love this thing. But now fast forward a week. There hasn't been a ton of news this last week, but we did get the Nintendo Direct this morning, which was a pretty good Nintendo Direct. And I feel like the end of the Summer Game Fest season. Everyone's done now because everyone's said their piece. John, why don't you start us off? Anything here interest you?
I will say that the night before when I was streaming, I said, "Hey guys, keep your expectations low. This is when Nintendo starts doing the weird shit, because they're probably not gonna have anything big
Oh, okay.
for when because it's so close to the new system."
Yep.
And then they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, here's a new Mario Luigi game, from the studio that we killed off like 5 years ago, if not even sooner than that." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, so new Mario Luigi game, hell yeah."
Brothership. Yeah. This is November 7th.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
So a bunch of games November from this direct. So
Yeah.
I'm going to call out Fantasian Neo Dimension. This is an Apple Arcade game from the original creator and composer of Final Fantasy. And it's now coming out. It's finally released from Apple Arcade. It's a pretty cool little
It
RPG.
looks cool. Yeah.
I didn't realize this was already out. Like, what were the reviews on this?
This was good. This came out years ago. I don't think it was called Neo Dimension. I'm pretty sure it was just Fantasian. But this has been on Apple Arcade for years, and people were just kind of like championing it. But no one gives a shit because it was on Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm here telling you, sometimes you need to give a shit about Apple Arcade.
Still want that Choo Choo Rocket game to get off there.
Like, just I'll add on another one real quick. Hello Kitty Island Adventure is now coming off. That was like the biggest mobile game of last year, Apple Arcade exclusive.
Hmm.
What about you, Paul?
I've been wanting to play through Donkey Kong Country Returns for fucking ever now, and the fact that
You never had a way to do it.
Well, I mean, I have a way to do it, but I don't want to dig out the Wii, so I'm excited for that.
You could have dug out your 3DS.
I have my 3DS. I don't have it on 3DS. I guess I could have bought it, but This seems like the definitive way, anyways, because it has levels from both of them mixed in, and it'll be the quote-unquote HD version, whatever
and
that
it'll
means for the
actually
Switch.
use a full-blown controller instead of a Wiimote.
I'm very, very excited about this. I wish it was sooner than January, but you know.
Well, you get your 3DS, and then you get that like attachment thing that adds a second joystick on there, and then you got a full one.
Oh, the Circle Pad Pro or whatever they called it. I forgot that existed.
But I do keep seeing people refer to this as like Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Donkey Kong can't stop returning.
I'm for it.
January 16th is the date on that one.
Yeah.
A new Zelda game. I didn't expect this at all.
What the fuck, though? They made Zelda a girl?
I know, shocking.
God damn it. Woke agenda.
This one actually looks like, it looks very different. Shut up. This looks so different, but like, I'm kind of excited for it. Like, it's the art style of Link's Awakening's remake on Switch.
Which is so good. Like, I'm so glad they didn't just abandon that.
Yeah.
As a one-off.
It looks like they basically were like, what if we took Animal Crossing and made a way to combat and do puzzles with it?
It looks really cool.
So
I am worried a little bit about the combat, because that doesn't look that fun, but the traversal stuff looks incredible. Like the puzzles.
Yeah, the traversal looked really good.
So we'll see.
So she has the Tri-Wand, is I think is what it's called, and she can kind of like capture like stuff, enemies.
Yeah. She can download a car.
Yes.
Like, columns of water, and then she can like put them out again and then use them to traverse. So she can like here's a column of water and then swim up the water and stuff. So
yeah,
I think there's gonna be some real cool puzzles in there. Just knowing Nintendo.
I think she literally climbed a mountain by just stacking beds together, which I thought was just hilarious.
Awesome. Yeah, that's so good.
Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom is the name. I like the joke people were saying they should have called it The Legend of Link.
Yeah, I kind of wish they had done that too. That's gonna be the unofficial title. Let's be real.
Legend of Link is pretty good.
This is coming out September 26th, so another September title for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we've danced around it. We have to talk about Funko Fusion.
Oh wow! Okay.
All your favorite Funkos are here. You got your Back to the Future Funko. You got your Five Nights at Freddy's Funko.
Yeah.
This one is a girl.
So this is just like a bad Lego game, right? Basically.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Ponytail Funko. There's Jurassic Park Funko. This looks terrible. Anyway,
it looks really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Metroid Prime 4.
Yep. Finally exists enough to get a proper trailer.
Yeah.
They showed at the very end. It was the one more thing. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, no title, 2025. This has to be a launch title for the next one, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Like it'll be on both.
It'll be on both. There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's just backwards compatible. That's just what they're playing their hand on that one unintentionally.
Like you think you could saying it's a Switch title, and it's like, yeah, you could play it on the new one if you want, and there's no upgrade.
I would say that it's got like it natively upgrades some games in heavy quotation marks. But it wouldn't surprise me they dual release, because it's Nintendo. They dual release.
Yeah. Like, it would be cool if they were like, it'll work on both and it'll look better. That's the like Xbox move, where it's like you get whatever version you want, and then the PlayStation move is, well, you could give us an extra $10, And then the Nintendo move is you can buy it twice. Fuck you. And then you guys will do it. Like, what are you guys doing? Come on.
True.
And then you'll buy Super Mario World again.
Yeah. Probably.
Yep. Paul, you have another game?
Yeah, there's a lot here. Is
It was
this
a good
where
direct.
is this the first time they announced the Marvel vs. Capcom collection?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not going to buy this on Switch, but that's really exciting to me.
I saw people were extra excited that the Punisher game is in here.
Yeah, that's a really
Yeah.
good beat 'em up.
There's a lot of really cool things in there, so I'm excited for this. MVC2 is going to be a fucking nightmare because people that play that game have been playing that game for 30 years.
Yeah, you're gonna go online. You're just gonna get bodied immediately.
That's
Oh,
why I don't
boy.
play it right now, because there are ways you can play that online, but I can't because I haven't been playing it for 20 years. So
You are gonna get taken for
And,
a ride if you go online and play.
yep. Yep.
And it's coming to everything except Xbox, which
is
why would you do
weird.
that?
That is very
Yeah, like
weird.
why not make it for the Xbox as well? Like what are you doing?
Do you guys know which is the best place to get it? Because is there crossplay? I'm just trying to
No,
find
they've
the one.
confirmed no crossplay.
That's what
no crossplay.
Because I don't think any of them have crossplay, and I'm trying to figure out where do people actually keep playing these after 2 days? Because I'm telling you, PC's not it.
It's probably PlayStation.
It's
honestly,
probably
PlayStation has a
PlayStation.
lot of fighting
I mean,
games.
you've said no to the other ones. Your only option now is PlayStation.
There's no way people that
And
buy
hey,
this on Switch will be playing it after 2 days. There's no way.
I don't know about that. There's a weird fighting game scene building up on Switch, but there's gonna be more
Really?
on PlayStation.
Yeah, on
There's gonna be more on
PlayStation, yeah.
PlayStation just because of like Strive and everything else, like all the big.
Oh,
boys.
sure.
I mean, remember, Sony owns Evo.
That's also true.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Just
you gotta
still
keep
weird.
that in mind.
Yeah, I'll have to get it on PlayStation probably.
John, you have another game?
Mario Party. I just gotta say it. Super
Honestly,
Mario Party Jamboree.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
get
New
this
Mario
one.
No one
Party.
else is gonna say it.
No, I'm gonna get
So-
this one for sure. And it made me mad because I actually used a thing to get the last one to play with some friends, and now I'm pissed off because I'm like, I kind of wish I just got this one because this looks like the better one.
Oh,
last year.
Superstars was good.
I got
Superstars
Superstars last
good.
year. If I had waited like a year, I could have got this instead. But whatever,
Eh.
it is what it is.
Yeah, so I'm excited for
That's
this. This will be
coming
fun to play.
October 17th.
20 players.
Which I'm just like, sure, why the hell not? Let's do it up.
Yeah, just go stupid with it. Exactly.
And then I'll call out my game that no one else will call out. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection.
Yeah.
Mm.
With the second
They're
game, which we
finally
never got over here.
bringing the second Investigations title to North America. It hasn't been outside of Japan. I wish I could buy these piecemeal because I own the first one and I'm not going to play it again, but of course not. So I'll probably just wait for a sale before playing Investigations 2, but I'm excited that I can finally play that without having to just like watch a YouTube video of someone who translated the whole game. That's September 6th. Wait, that's September 6th? I'm playing Astro. I'm not playing this game for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, Paul?
So Romancing Saga 2 and Dragon Quest, I thought that was kind of cool that they just did remakes.
Dragon Quest 3, and they're just like, here's also 1 and 2. We're HD2Ding that as well.
So when I was watching it, I was literally like, wait, did they do 1 and 2? Then I was saying, what the fuck, or whatever. Then they're like, 1 and 2 are coming too. And then it was like, what the fuck? Why are you doing this one first? And then they're like, we want you to experience the story the chronological way, which starts with 3. It's like, oh, okay. They like literally answered my questions as I was bringing them up.
Specifically you, Paul. We are listening to
it's
you.
like, okay. Yeah, fair.
John?
Mio, Memories in Orbit. It's looked very Ori and the Blind Forest-esque, and I thought it looked cool.
This looks cool.
So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see more on this one.
Last one I'll call out is that free Disney Illusion Island DLC is out already.
Oh, yeah.
like a mystery update. So I need to get back and finish that game, and I'm glad there's just more to it as well. That's
See,
a cool
I
game.
finished that game, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to go back to it. I was kind of done with it
You
after
don't
a
have
little
to.
bit.
No one's forcing you to.
Well, I want to know how the DLC is. Like, is it just like they said that I think is it
You
DLC
want to
next
know
at the
what
same
the
time or is it
mystery
post game?
is?
Yeah, I like mysteries. That's what gets me interested. Is
I'm
mysteries.
hoping it's a murder mystery.
It might be with that era of Disney characters. I don't know.
There's absolutely no way someone got murdered in Disney Illusion Island.
No, it's
Like the
entirely
game,
it's they made
the game
characters
where
they could kill
you can't even jump on an enemy.
them.
So
This time we gave Minnie a Glock.
Neither
Yeah,
of you were
okay.
into Farmagia or whatever, huh?
Armagia kind
It
of
looked
seemed interesting, but it looked like Harvest Moon Pikmin. So I'm just
It
like, I'm not sure
does.
how I feel about this.
Yeah. It looks so fucking weird.
Yo, shoutouts to there being a
What's that?
new Denpamen game, which was just a weird ass like 3DS download series. So I never
Yeah.
expected Denpamen to come back of all
Oh, I was
things.
gonna say, I didn't know that was like a series.
Yeah, that's like the
Um,
4th or
it,
5th game in the series.
oh wow. I was watching this and I was like, this looks like one of those like 3DS Street Pass games that you had to purchase.
Yep.
That's
It
exactly what it
was.
was.
Yep.
Okay.
Also, a quick shout out to Metal Slug Attack being thrown on here, the mobile
Yeah,
game.
it's the mobile game, so I'm just like,
No, I
but
picked it
also
up.
I
It's
like
great.
Metal Slug.
It's great.
Okay.
But
Okay,
like,
fine.
it's you're just buying dudes to like push into a tower. That's all the game is. And then they took up the mechanic of you spending money to get like units. You're spending in-game money. So yeah, I like that rather than real money. You spend real money once to buy it, but then it's all there, which is good. I like that.
How much was it?
13 Canadian. So what is that? 10
Oh, that's
bucks
not bad at
American.
all. Okay, maybe I will consider for that.
Most of it was like the gold coins I had paid
I've
for.
probably got a bunch of gold coins built up.
Exactly.
Shoutouts to Nintendo Switch Sports still adding sports.
That was, yeah, that's crazy because I haven't heard people talk about that since it came out.
No, every time they mention they're adding a new sport, everyone says like, why didn't they just have it there in the first place? This is everyone. All I've heard is complaints about it. Just like, why is this still getting content? This is all stuff that should have been there earlier.
Yeah.
What if they support that game longer than like Animal Crossing and
That would be
Super
the
Mario
most
Maker?
insulting fucking thing in the world.
At this point, they
Absolutely.
are.
Yeah, you're
They're
right.
close. They're getting there.
Yeah. Okay, last calls for the news segment.
I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know. We were kind of talking before, and I'm not doing what I did this year and watching all of them. Gorilla Collective is the one for indies because it's 3 hours long, but you get everything that
3 hours long.
they go through every notable indie that was announced and like every other thing. And so like that's the one you probably want to watch, and then these like major ones that we talked about if you're into those companies. But I'm not doing all of it again. No chance. Whole weekend. It took the whole weekend.
It was video game Christmas.
Yeah.
Does it still feel like that to you, Sean? As someone who actually is like in there and like actually at
Oh,
like
yeah.
the shows and everything?
More than ever, because now I'm like playing the games. I'm not just watching trailers. Like it more than ever, it is video game Christmas for
That's
me.
the thing.
Absolutely.
My favorite part about this time is that they release demos for all of this shit, because I guess I just realized I don't give a fuck about trailers really as much anymore. I just want to play the thing more than anything.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm just like,
Just want to play
I
it.
sort of miss going to E3 and stuff like that, but at the same time, when I go to PAX, I'm just like, I don't feel like going to see the demos.
Stand in
Unless it's
a line
something
or
like
something.
I'm absolutely like chomping at the bit for.
Yeah.
I go back and forth on demos because when I'm at home, I don't really play a lot of demos. I just want to play the full game. But at these events,
Yeah.
there's demos so far in advance, so that's exciting. But now these events are also becoming like I know a lot of people in the industry now, so I'm seeing friends who I don't really get to see, and it's like, oh hey, you're still employed. That's awesome. You didn't get laid off yet.
Oh, what a
True.
horrible thing. That's totally true.
True.
Well, that's yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no, I had such a fun time down there for sure, absolutely. Let's talk about what we've been playing. You guys didn't want to call anything out that you've been playing?
Eh.
Cross
Okay.
playing the Namco one now.
Okay. Nice.
Which one's the Namco one?
It's
called?
like all puzzles are Namco characters, so like I just did
Okay.
like Pac-Man's, Spirit of Valkyrie, stuff like that.
Nice.
Dig Dug.
Okay, well, for the last like week and a half ish, I've been playing the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC for Elden Ring.
How much do you hate yourself?
I'm a hate myself. I'm having a great time.
Okay, all
I mean,
right, all
Elden Ring
right.
was my favorite game of that year. Paul, I'm assuming this is what you're gonna play like as soon as the show's done.
No, we play it sometime next week. I don't have time or energy to do it tonight.
Oh, okay.
I've heard this is
So
like
I'm about
very substantial in length, like
Yeah, I've heard that
35
too.
Oh,
hours.
absolutely. So I went to the preview event last month or whatever, and they were saying it was about the size of Limgrave. I don't know. It seems way bigger than Limgrave. That's this opening area. I've put about 15 hours into it. I'm not really sure how far I am into it. Um, that map just keeps getting bigger. I'm pretty sure I have the map zoomed out. Like I've uncovered enough of the map where it's at the final zoom. But I've been hearing some people saying it's like 40 hours long.
Sure.
It is
That
a
makes sense.
massive
Wild.
DLC,
At that point, that's a
which I can see
whole
it.
extra game.
It's like I think they're selling it for like $40, so that's a pretty expensive DLC or expansion. I
Yeah.
absolutely think you're getting your money's worth. The diversity of the biomes, you're gonna get your lava place, you're gonna get your cave place, your sky area, like it's kind of all in there.
Poison swamps,
Everyone,
baby.
there's swamps there, absolutely. Everyone you hate's there. Those hands with too many fingers, they're back. Fuck those guys. Um, there's a lot of new absolute fuckers that I hate and are terrifying. There's these like giant flame dudes that just kind of walk around the field. They're like wandering bosses. They have so much health. I don't know how I'm gonna. My character does not use magic, so I have to get close, and
I have heard this
just no
DLC is
way.
very challenging.
I'm hearing that a lot too. I've only come across one like actual boss where I'm just like, I don't know if this is gonna happen, and I don't want to talk about it because it was such a cool part. I tweeted a little bit about it. There's a dragon mountain that on 3 separate occasions I was like texting with some other journalists who had it early, and I was like, this is so badass. And I don't want to say what happens on the dragon mountain, but it's might be my favorite thing I've done in an Elden Ring titled piece of content. Um, but yeah, no, it's cool. I have no idea how much more of it I have. I don't know if it's gonna take me 40 hours. I don't think I'm gonna like super completionist it just based on how I did Elden Ring. Um, but I don't know how much more I have left to do kind of main plot wise. And obviously there's side quests and NPCs, so there's like a bunch of other stuff you can do. Um, it was funny. I did the preview down in LA, and they had builds set for us, and then which is like a bunch of equipment, pick whatever weapon you wanted. And I didn't I beat the first boss. There's like this lion, like this elemental lion, and then the second boss I probably spent like 1 hour on, and that we had 3 hours, so that kind of ended my session so hard. And I was like, man, I'm having a much easier time now that I got Mimic Tier and the Moonveil Katana. On my standard file. So that's how I'm playing it, of course.
So you
Nice.
can
And
go
then
do
yes,
it at any point in the game, right?
No, you have to beat
you need
Moog
to have
first.
beaten. Yep, there's 2 bosses you have to have beaten. Radon, which is on the main path, so most
Yeah.
people will have beaten Radon, and then Moog, who is an optional boss. That you need to have completed both of those bosses in order to access this DLC.
He's the one that
So you're
throws
probably
blood and
spending,
fire around, if for people who
yeah,
don't remember.
if you
Oh,
remember,
okay. So the one in the
there's like an egg and
mountain.
his arm is
Yes.
hanging out
Okay. The
when
one
you're
in the mountain
finished.
that's
That's
tied to
Moog.
like all the assassin group and shit like that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So you need to have beaten both of those in order to get into it. Which is probably like a good 50 plus hours of Elden Ring.
It's very far
Um,
in. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
if you
So
know what you're doing, you could probably rush it, but like if you're playing casually, it's probably 50, 60 hours in, I could see.
If you have a save file that defeated the final boss but didn't do New Game Plus, can you access it,
Yes.
or are you SOL? Okay, good.
that's what mine is. That's what I did.
Okay,
That's
so
where
I
I was.
think
'Cause
I
I
think
never
we're
went
in the
into New
same
Game
boat.
Plus. Yeah, I didn't do New Game Plus. I just beat it.
I
I
had
just
heard
beat it,
tales of
and then
like previous Souls games being like, yeah, if you made the New Game Plus file, then you can't access the DLC, so don't do it. So I'm like, okay, I'll just wait.
yeah, that I don't know about. And if you went
That
into
would
New
be
Game
true because
Plus,
you start from the beginning again. So you would have to beat Radon and Moog again if you did New Game Plus.
So yeah, so it sounds like John, you're right where I was, so you should be good to hop in there. And then
If only I remembered how to play Elden Ring.
It
that
comes
was the
back pretty
thing leading
quick.
up to the preview. Yeah, it does come back pretty quick. I went like they up to the preview, they were like, "We recommend you get like familiar with this game again." So I just went to Limgrave and just ran around killing like soldiers with one hit and being like, "Oh yeah, this okay. This is how you do the horse. This is how I heal." And it's left trigger, right trigger to use the Moon Veil, and I'll do that 99% of the time. And yes, the DLC is hard, but they give you there's a new upgrade mechanic in there, which are these I guess they're like collectibles, and then you kind of cash them in at the sites of grace, and they just power up the damage you do, and the damage you receive gets lowered. And you also
Hmm.
get a similar collectible that does that for your spirit ashes.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
So that allows them to make this DLC harder because not only are you leveling up like normal, but you're also getting these power ups. These power ups do not go back into the main game.
I had a feeling that'd be too broken at
Interesting.
that point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They're called like Scadu tree fragments, and I forget what the spirit ash one is called. Um, but yeah, it's really cool. There's nothing like crazy new. So if you're going into this hoping like I want something totally unique and different, it's just more Elden Ring,
Right.
which I think for most people, more Elden Ring is exactly what they're wanting.
Yeah.
And for me, speaking of which, that's exactly what I was wanting, and so I'm having a fun time going around these weird little areas and yeah, that's what I'm going to be playing probably this weekend. I've been playing this whole week is Shadow of the Erdtree. I did just beat the boss that's on the box art, the dude with like the red capes and stuff, big spear.
Okay.
What's annoying, there's been a couple bosses now. You know when you like summon like an NPC to help you fight a boss, with the like gold lettering on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Some of them are in the boss arena. So you have to get over there and go through the like, do you want to summon? Yes, while this dude's trying to kill you.
Hmm.
Wasn't there at least
Which
one
is
fight in vanilla that did that? Or am I
mm,
just misremembering? I
may,
think I'm misremembering.
maybe I don't know. I don't recall that being one, but I could have forgotten. It was 2 years ago, right? That I was playing Elden
Yeah.
Ring.
Hmm.
Does that ring a bell to you, Paul?
I don't know. I don't summon, so I have no idea. I can't
Oh,
remember.
Mr.
Okay.
Gamer.
No.
Yeah.
I always find I do worse with summons because then I don't learn the patterns and they're harder to predict.
I get it.
Anyways, 2 thumbs up for Erdtree. It's reviewing incredibly well, but I would have been shocked if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Um,
Imagine if it's just like, yeah, 30% or whatever. It's just like, what the fuck happened?
like don't play this. Yeah, I there's absolutely no way. So
No, there was no way.
um, so it's cool. Play Erdtree. If you liked Elden Ring, you'll like Erdtree.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sure.
Let's do some questions.
Yeah.
Top down perspective at gmail.com, at TDP podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's PO box if you want to send a question in. I'll read this first one from VGC Kenny. I have heard that Chrono Trigger doesn't need a remake in the same way that Final Fantasy VII did because FF7 was early 3D and has some jank to it, whereas Chrono Trigger is peak 2D and thus doesn't need much fixing. Really, you'd only be adding some quality of life updates to it.
Hmm.
And that's actually what I think the biggest issue is with DPSP and Pokemon remakes going forward. All the earlier games needed bigger updates to be accessible, but honestly, Diamond Pearl and onwards only need a few updates to be good. That's not to say that just giving them some bells and whistles isn't enough for a remake, but I do feel like you should temper your expectations a little when it comes to certain things. But what do you think?
Wait, what do we
I just
think
think
about
Chrono
what?
Trigger's just a good
Oh,
game.
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Like it could do if they did a 3D remake like they did with FF7, I'd be down. But like
Yeah.
I don't think like they said, I don't think it's as janky as FF7 kind of was. But even then, like FF7 still has some pretty good moments. So, but you're also comparing like what, like a maybe 20-hour game to what, like a 40-hour game?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think if a game being good and old like negates it from getting a remake because
Yeah.
part of the nice thing about a remake is putting it on current hardware you obviously get to make it look a lot nicer. Um, it could run a lot better, and it could just be kind of more expansive. So, I mean, maybe the question is like, does this one need a remake? But no, like I think having like a modern Chrono Trigger would be super cool, and it's almost like breathing like life into this older game.
No,
Sure.
I love Chrono Trigger. It's one of my favorite SNES games, and I'm like, I mean, if you get the, as long as there's like a version you can experience it with, like there's like the Steam version, which apparently is decent now. I'm just
Oh,
like,
did
oh,
they
that's
fix
kind of all
that?
it needs.
Okay.
Yeah, they apparently fixed it.
Nice. Good.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it needs to be remade to the Final Fantasy VII remake level of recreation, but like I would play it if they did.
Yeah, and I also don't think like remaking it like negate like you can always go back and play the other one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, like, but I think what they've done with Final Fantasy VII Remake has just like it's been so cool. Like, but that's basically like a different game almost at this point. I think that would just and you know it's taken the spirit of seven. I think that would just be cool to do with lots of different games. Like, why not? If you don't like the direction they did, still go play the other one.
as long as it doesn't take as long to come out as Seven remake, Rebirth, and
Yeah.
whatever the last one is.
Like if you just put out Chrono Trigger, not Chrono Trigger in 3 parts or something over 10 years.
I'd be like, no, I'm good. No,
Yeah.
no, no. You didn't need to
Sure.
take that long.
Yeah.
You
But
might do
like
it though. Why not?
the way it's worded
Then
too,
they get to sell it twice.
Chrono Trigger is peak 2D and doesn't need much fixing. Like if that's the thing we're going no, Chrono Trigger absolutely doesn't need to be fixed in a remake. You just could report that with like some quality of life or even not. Like it doesn't even need that many quality of life things as long as like you guys said is available on stuff people can buy it on. So
Also,
you could,
the Pokemon connection there.
mhm.
I might argue they remake Pokemon every 2 to 3 years. Because those games are very similar.
Yeah, I guess like the bigger jump was with Legends and then like the newer stuff on Switch, but even then it's pretty similar still in a lot of ways.
It's because the core gameplay itself hasn't changed, and that's what makes
Yeah.
Seven remake stand out so much. Is because they changed the core gameplay a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, they could do that with Chrono Trigger. Like that was another turn-based one. They could make it action.
Mm.
I mean, and I like the combat in Final Fantasy VII. Like if they did like a similar thing, I I would look forward to that.
Suku writes, everyone knows a red potion means health and blue is for mana. What would a yellow potion do? Green? Purple?
Yellow, I feel like is like invincibility.
For me, it's always been like haste or
Invincibility.
something, like a speed
Mm.
potion.
Okay. I think green is also health.
Green's always been
Pur-
stamina for me, or like something
Purple's
like that.
like poison healing or something like that.
Purple's always been rejuve for
Oh,
me, mana and health at the same time.
Mm.
I was gonna say purple is also mana for me. Like you have
Okay,
red and blue, but sometimes it's green and purple.
I think
I
that
like
might be
the
from
invincibility for
Diablo
yellow.
because I'm pretty sure the rejuve are purple because it's red and blue put together, so like it makes
Mm.
sense color wise.
Okay. Okay.
Yellow's MP and FF14. That's true. I could see green being like a poison.
Colors make no sense. Basic is what we're saying.
True. Some people can't even see them.
It's true.
Hebrew Lantern writes in and says, "If you could turn any activity into an Olympic sport, what would you win a medal for?" Sleeping.
Anxiety.
So just the coolest stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't think I'm particularly good at anything.
Quidditch?
No, I'm clearly not very good at Quidditch. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think like I'm just trying to think like most like no, I don't have an answer for I don't think I have a good answer for this. How many
Hmm.
episodes of a podcast can you do? I'm up there,
Sure.
We're
Yeah.
pretty
but
high
I'm
up
still
there.
not pretty high up there, but I'm still not winning the medal. But anyway,
Sure.
Hayes Hero X. It's time to make the TDP racing kart video game, and you have to make some decisions.
Okay.
All right, first one. We need a roster of at least 8 characters relevant to the TDP crew and friends, obviously including you 3.
And Nathan, so that's half done.
Yeah, that's half
So
there.
there's 4. I mean 4 more.
We could pick all of our partners, and that would put us at automatic 8.
Yeah, that's easy.
Oh, okay.
Or even our
I guess,
pets,
yep.
because our pets show up half the time anyways.
Okay, I don't have a pet, but
Still, I'm just saying that would add like 2.
We need a
Paul has
genie.
a couple pets.
I have
A
2 pets.
genie.
Yeah.
We need a
I
genie.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
Yeah.
like
No,
the genie has to be one of them.
Yeah.
that or the genie's like the villain. That's like the character
Yeah.
running everything. So it's like Diddy Kong Racing.
Or the one that starts the match at the very
Yeah.
beginning.
Paul, do you have 2 cats?
I have 2 cats, yeah.
Okay, so you could do the 3 cats and the genie as the other 4.
There you go. That's another
Okay.
option. Perfect.
Sure.
We need to pick 6 items to boost ourselves during the race or weapons to destroy the competition. Say don't forget the double jump. So I guess there's a double jump item
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
as the
feather,
best.
I
Okay.
guess.
One of the items is a
Sure,
hot
a
dog,
feather.
but it's called a sandwich
hot
when
dog
you
do?
pick it
Oh
up.
no! I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah, when you pick it up.
What does it do? Are you throwing it at someone?
That could be like our version of the mushroom. You
Or-
speed up or something.
Okay, so a boost. Speed
Boost,
boost.
yeah.
Okay, for a hot dog.
It'd just be like a controller, and that's like the red shell equivalent. You just throw it and it locks on.
Yeah,
to the
that's
person,
pretty
slow 'em
good.
down.
That's pretty good.
Control. Okay, we have 3. We need 3 more.
3 more. Fuck it. Okay.
Game boat. And what if the game boat is
Game
like
boat.
the star?
Game boat.
That's absolutely the star. That's
yeah,
absolutely the star.
absolutely.
Or it's the like bullet bill, which is kind of
It's
like
the
the
same,
star.
essentially. Yeah, bullet
But
bill.
you had to do like the
Yep.
Connect Adventures like arm waving to
Yep.
actually
Like
use
while you're like playing the game, you have
Yeah.
to stand up and you have to shout McDonald's
Or no,
to stop the ad.
Yep, that's right. Yep. I mean, an obvious one is probably like a microphone, right? Because it's a podcast.
yeah.
Podcast. Okay, I got a 6th one. It's a bowl of Beerios from the tester when that
Yeah.
one guy made Beerios for breakfast.
I've been trying to find
And,
episodes of the tester. I wanted to do a rewatch of them at some point, but some of those episodes are actually just not available anywhere anymore.
One of the guys that won, that Will Powers guy, I see like at so many game events because he works for Razer. I see him like at least twice a year.
I eventually blocked him on Twitter because he's kind of a shit-stirring piece of crap, but I mean, it is
Weird.
what it is.
Okay. I don't think I've ever really talked to him, but I'm always like, oh, he's the guy from the tester.
Yeah.
I think the Beerios is like the squid ink or the other.
Yeah,
people,
okay.
But it's
There you
like
go.
Yeah.
it's like Cheerios with beer on your
Perios.
screen. Okay.
So stupid.
4 to 8 tracks inspired by some of your favorite real life locations.
Well, I feel like we gotta do Calgary because we're all
Somewhere in
from
Calgary,
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just like kind of maybe like a loop around like Bow River, kind of Eau Claire area.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, with the bridges. Okay.
Real life locations.
We gotta do E3. We gotta do
a
E3
convention
in
of
there.
some sort. Yeah.
Well, maybe if it's us, we should do PAX because we've all been to PAX. Only
Yeah.
you've been to E3. So like PAX West specifically, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if we did like one of your panels? So we're kind of racing through it, and like you're on the you're doing throwing controllers up on the side, and you just kind of drive past you.
That'd be kind of neat. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
you're,
fun.
You're going between, and maybe it's like
Wait,
shrunken
but I'm
down. so you're
also
going
in the
between
car.
people's
How
legs.
is this happening?
Yeah, there you go. Well,
Yeah.
maybe it's all of your co-hosts are up there and you're down there. Let's try and get 2 more because this one's harder. We'll just do 4.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh, John's room with a bunch of like games and arcades and just like
Okay.
that sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh, and then we should do like my basement where we kind of started
Yeah,
doing the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
podcast,
Yeah, there you
and
go. There you go.
we've done
Yeah.
like tabletop down perspective
Oh,
there
it
and
should be
stuff.
the table from tabletop down perspective with like Cards Against Humanity, cards strewn about, and some drinks or whatever,
It's just
and
on Micro Machines
a
level.
camera hanging from the
Yeah.
ceiling.
Oh
Yeah, the
man, I
Xbox
forgot we
Live
used to
Vision
do that.
camera hanging from the
Yeah.
ceiling.
There we
That'd be
go.
kind of sick. Yeah.
Finally, who would be the secret extra character cameo? This one should be a video game character, one beloved or hated by all three members. Also, how do you unlock it?
Well, that should probably be the genie,
Yeah, that probably should be the genie, but that's
which
not a
means
video game character per se.
On a video.
oh, a
Well,
video game.
if we're
Okay.
picking the genie, how do we unlock it?
You have to go do the secret question time mode. There's like a little area in one of the maps where you have to answer a question, and just you have to do that on every track, and then you get like a little piece of a genie charm, like a little magic
Okay.
lamp.
Okay.
Okay.
Do a Diddy Kong Racing style where there's like a little adventure mode. It's like, oh, there's just a hidden alcove with like a multiple choice question. Get it right, and you get like a little charm.
What would we choose if
All right.
it had to be a video game character? Do we have like a common video game?
I was gonna say the main character from Ghost Trick because that was the one time we actually had a game
But
of the year.
that's not Paul though.
Yeah.
Maybe it was
So maybe
Hades.
for us three, Shovel Knight or Hades are
Shovel
up
Knight or
there.
Hades. Yeah, Zagreus
Elden Ring
probably.
is also up there.
Just like random dude from Elden Ring.
Here's
What about the
Melania
first
from Elden
merchant
Ring.
guy, like the little Santa Claus looking dude with his donkey?
Man,
Or just like one of the jar.
You
Dude,
could
there's some fucked up jar stuff in Erdtree.
you could have a Mario Party track. That'd be kind of
It's
fun.
just, and if you play as Sean, you just complain the entire time while you're
It
driving.
just
It's like-
sucks. Yeah, you play as me. I just keep saying like, this sucks. Why would anyone do
Yeah.
this? This is a waste of time. Play a real game.
Commentary tracks.
Question from Dead. How far into a game do you know with 90% confidence you're going to finish it?
When I'm fighting the final boss.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think there's a point anymore where I know for sure, because I've dropped games close-ish to the end.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I've specifically stopped like before the final area or the final like dungeon or whatever. So I feel like I've stopped the final boss too. Now I think about it, Final Fantasy X. So I could do it. I could do anything.
See, okay, I'll say probably the final boss, because even if I'm having the worst time, I will probably keep pushing until I'm done at that point.
Yeah.
If I know it's the final boss. If like
At that point, it's an obligation, maybe.
if I'm playing the final boss, I beat it, and then there's like another form of the final boss and it's worse, then I might shut it off though. So who knows?
Metroid Prime Remastered stopped at the final boss.
Oof. Oof. Rasterman says, when was the last time you guys have been to a museum? Do you remember anything on display that caught your eye, or are you planning to visit one in the near future? Ooh, unless you count like those little like stand-up ones, like the Nintendo Power Museum that they had at PAX that one time, or they had a couple years. Like, not really.
Oh.
I think I went to like the Telus Convention Center like 8-9 years ago. That's probably the most recent museum visit I ever did.
I can actually tell you. I just
Yeah, I
gotta
was gonna
find
say
the picture.
I probably wouldn't count the Nintendo Power one because you weren't like going to a museum. You were going to something else, and there happened to be a display there.
Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, yeah.
What did you say, Paul?
I could probably tell you exactly. Just let me find, because I'm sure
Okay.
I took a picture.
I go to museums all the time when I travel. So on my trip in Europe, I was at museums at most cities.
Boy, it must have been a while.
I guess by
back.
that logic, we did one when we went to Ireland. So
Okay.
May 8th, 2018.
damn, down to the day. Okay.
Yeah.
What was that museum?
It was the Glenbow, and there was an exhibit of Frida Kahlo and her life and art and stuff.
Okay. Last one from Phantom Aegis. Hoi TDP crew, what kind of accessories do you like to wear? If not, what's your reason for not wearing any? And some examples of what accessories are, in case you're confused. Watches, bracelets, hats, sunglasses, scarves, chokers, rings, necklaces, gloves, etc.
Hat.
I mean, I'm wearing one right now.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Yep.
hat
I
too.
wear a watch.
I used to love wearing a watch, and then I just never replaced the battery in the one I had.
Mm.
Um, I actually don't mind ties.
Yeah, I don't mind them either.
I started dressing up for like throwing controllers, and like it's kind of nice just being like a dress shirt, a vest, and just a tie. It just feels nice.
Yeah, I don't mind them either.
I'm looking at these examples. Rings. I don't think I'll ever wear a ring.
I hate rings. I get anxiety with them on, like, that they're never going to come
Really, I
off.
always like playing
I,
with mine. So
Okay.
I did buy a specific, like, fidget ring to try to get over that, and every time I started feeling like crazy about it, I'd play with it, and then it just got to the point where I was like, I have to take this off. It's not helping.
Okay, fair enough. I don't mind rings.
I think one of my issues with rings is because of all the like weightlifting I do.
Mm,
I would have to take it on and off so
all
much.
the
It's like,
time.
what's the point? I like the looks of hats. I don't really wear hats because all my hairstyles require like product in my hair, and it would just
Mm.
like get ruined, or like it would solidify flat. So I just never wear hats really.
That's why
I
I like
used to,
hats,
yeah.
because I don't like doing hair and product. So it's easier.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fair. I used to wear pendants all the time in university. So I
Mm,
had like a little red Nintendo like dog tag I used to wear, a couple other charms in that.
okay.
So necklaces and stuff like that. And I usually in the winter I wear a scarf. So
Yeah, like the scarf and gloves, if it's
yeah,
cold, which where I
Yeah.
live, it's never that cold, but when I like visit Calgary, yeah, I'm putting some gloves on
yeah.
for
I had
sure.
a very small phase where I was wearing fingerless gloves, and that was like, these are my driving gloves. Let's go. And I'm just like, this is
Mm.
really dumb, and then my hands are sweaty. Why am I doing this?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well,
They were like
Fingerless gloves
costume
are
gloves I
like
had for a cosplay, and I was just like, I just really want an excuse to wear these more because I like them. And then
okay.
I did it in like the middle of summer. I'm like, nope, all right, we're done with these now.
I was gonna say, from like a practicality standpoint, fingerless gloves don't really make any sense.
did you ever get
Like,
those, like,
if it's cold, not
convertible
helpful.
ones that are, like, fingerless, but they have
Oh,
a, like, sheath you can
yeah,
put
turn into
over?
a mitt, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, when I was a kid. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Also, mitts suck, right?
yeah. They really
Yeah.
do. It was an era
Like, I
before
understand
phones, though, when we used mitts.
that's true, and like they do keep your hands warmer because your fingers aren't separated.
It's
Who wants to wear a mitt? I can't
so
remember the last time I saw
mittens were
people with
first
mitts
because
on.
they were just like it contains the heat more because your hands are together.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
they do it. So
I'll tell
like
you the
gloves
only
can
time I
get
wear a
colder
mitten.
faster.
The one time I wear mittens is when I'm taking a hot item out of the oven.
Yes, true.
I mean, we do we have like a glove. It's like the oven glove,
Yep,
the of glove, whatever they call it. Yeah, that's
yep.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
oven glovin.
The oven gloving.
All right, that's going to do it for questions. If you want to send in questions for next week, topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
9 Souls still. That game is fucking incredible.
I guess Pacross.
Yeah.
Mine's going to be Elden Ring. It has a new DLC out, you may have heard. Shadow of the
Rumor
Erd
has it.
Tree.
No,
Rumor
tell me
has
all
it.
about it. Actually, you know what? I have 20 fucking people playing it on Twitch, so I'm not going to be able to get away from it for the next
No.
month. So
I don't know why you're upset. This was your favorite game of that
I'm
year.
upset because I want to watch something else. I'm going to play the game. I want to watch anything else.
I mean, you knew this was coming, so.
I did. I've been ready for it, and it still sucks.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.